Hey, Ginny, are you hearing me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. And yeah, we have like about quite a few people on already.
Good morning.
Good morning. Are you seeing me
You did
pretty
a great
well?
job with the tough topic.
Say that again?
You did a great job with the tough topic.
Yeah, it's difficult to do this topic, by just talking about it over you got to have a visual. And so I worked on this and I hope it helps everyone to get some value out of it today. And
Oh,
and it's a process, right, Ginny?
yeah, and visual learners will love this, and I'm one.
Yeah. So that way you have something some meat and potatoes that you can grab hold of. And we're also going to go over to RI training as well. And then on RI training, we will be able to just look at the actual system itself and how simple it is to set some goals for yourself and to plug in the numbers. So I am super, super excited.
Yeah, me too.
So I know there's you got the questions, the Q&A section, right, Ginny?
From
From
the
this,
actual section.
from here, because people are going to ask questions. So you got that.
Oh, somebody just asked one. I just saw one.
Okay.
There's no sound. They can't hear you.
They can't hear us?
One person said they can't hear you.
Okay, hold on a second.
Myrna.
How about now? Can they hear me now?
Myrna? Yes. Oh, well, Brian can hear you. Mr. B can hear you. Myrna, can you hear us? Can you hear Nakima now? Louisiana hears you.
Okay, so and we got more people coming on. There we got Wade.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes, Wade.
Okay, good, excellent. All right. Hi guys.
Morning.
Hopefully a bunch of people will be jumping on.
We have quite a few people who are on, and I know more people are trying to get on. I'm so sorry. I know this is one of the things that people are going to eventually get really good at. A lot of people are afraid of technology, and it's scary, and it's just, but guess what? The more you do it, the better you get. And the proof is in the pudding. I have people that I do coaching with, and they get better and better all the time because they're learning all of these things. So Ginny, does anyone have any questions before we get started?
Everyone can hear, and I just sent Myrna a message to ask her if it's just specific to her or not. If she
Okay,
can
so she
hear.
has responded.
We're
Yes.
just waiting for her response.
Use your computer audio, guys. When it comes up on your screen, it usually asks you if you're using your computer audio. You want to say yes to that. Wade, I would love for you to read that quote again.
Yes, absolutely.
I would love for us to open with that quote again.
Okay, let me go back to that real quick and all right. So tracking your results ensures that you are working your plan and that your plan is working for you. It gives you the key measurements to verify whether you are actually making meaningful progress towards specific goals. A regular, frequent, and scheduled review helps you take ownership of and responsibility for your actions and that are either leading you toward or away from your goals. If you don't review, how will you know how you are reaching your goal?
Okay, we have, yeah, so that right there is the entire idea behind tracking, and including that, why are you wanting to do what we're doing here in Enagic? Why are you even want to do it? So when you start from those two places and what Wade said, that would bring us right to what we're about to do right now. I think someone raised their hand and had a question, Ginny.
I'm working on them, and it's the same person. They said their volume's up, and so I'm asking them if they used internet audio. That seems to be the general challenge, is if you don't use internet audio.
Okay.
And
So
then, this has nothing to do with the with this webinar. This next question.
Arizona, or
We can do that on Friday.
yeah, Zona. We'll tie into that on Friday for you.
Okay. All right. So guys, let's start with planning and tracking. So what exactly should we track? Your ability to convert prospects to customers or associates and distributors, and to teach as many people as you can to do the same. So that's what we're wanting to track. Our ability, how good are we at moving a person that we've spoken to, a contact, from contact to presentation, getting them to become customers or associates and distributors. Or associates and distributors is the same word. I put both of them there because sometimes in RI training they use the word associates, which means distributors for us. So that's why I have both of them up there. So it's your ability to move people through those. Are you able to move them? Are they going to listen to what you're saying and decide to watch a presentation? After watching the presentation, after you the presentation and you follow up, are they answering your calls when you call for follow-up? You know, or are they completely ignoring you, which means something may have broken down. So, and to teach as many people to do the same. If we can train people to be trainers, then we're going to have a great business, because every person that we enroll in the organization, that's who we create duplication with. So when we show that person how to do this, then that person can teach the other person. So you don't have to worry about teaching your downline, because your frontline people are creating the duplication. Does that make sense, Wade?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, so I'm going to go forward here. So what is your goal? Do you have a dollar goal that you want to meet in your home? It could be 1,000, it could be 5,000, it could be 10,000. Start tracking your skill level in the first 20 skills in the success pattern, and develop an effective names list of at least 200 people. So this is where you're going to start. You got to have that list of 200 names, and you want to be in the improve yourself phase, working on those skills where you may have, you may need to strengthen up yourself there. Wade, anything that you guys want to jump in, please at any point do so.
Okay.
All right. Now start at the start. Tracking your results in the improve yourself phase, like I was saying on the call this morning, will accelerate your ability to be effective in the 20 skills in the build a team phase. So most of us try to build a team without first improving ourselves, and we know that. So in the build a team phase is where you focus on contacting, presenting, following up, and asking for the business. That's where we focus on doing that. In the improve yourself phase, and you'll see how much time you're supposed to be spending doing contacting, presenting, following up, and asking for the business in the in stage one, in our improve yourself phase. Anything, Jenny or Wade?
Well, it's so important that we track all of these things, because most people just simply track who they spoke to, as well as how many people signed up from how many people they spoke to. Good morning. Someone's passing me. And unfortunately, they don't track these things: contacting, presenting, following up, and asking for the business, because that's all part of the total number at the end, how many people actually came onto your team.
Exactly. So right here, just everyone who's on for the first time, or you're bringing new people on into the business, it's important that you know that in order for them to build a team, or in order for you to build a team, or me to build a team, in order for that to happen, we need those first skills in the improve yourself phase. We really need to understand that. And it's only when we hit the build a team phase, then the serious tracking begins. Okay? So planning and tracking in the improve yourself phase, you have the first 20 skills. We know what they are. We've gone over them before, right? So these are the 20 skills. And you'll learn more about that as you go into RI training. They're all there for you. I don't need to go over them this morning. So I said earlier that there's no need to track your results in contacting, presenting, and enrolling people while you are in the improve yourself phase. All right? Until you are in the build a team phase. So when you go into the build a team phase, that's when you seriously begin your tracking. Jenny, you guys slow me up if I'm going too fast, all right?
Tammy asked, when you're tracking yourself in the first 20, is this done by just retaking your profile? So she needs a specific example of tracking in the first 20.
Beautiful. That's a great question. Yes, your profile will tell you how you're growing. All right. That's a big part of your tracking in the first part, plus the hours, the time that you spend doing specific activities, which we're going to go over in a second. So I hope that, yes, so your personal effectiveness profile is going to clarify for you your growth process. All right.
So for those that are new to this, okay, we've gone through the first 25 before this. So when she's talking about the first 20 and saying, we just want you to know that we've, as the class or as the call, we've already gone through this. So if you're just getting into this, don't feel lost, don't feel anything, right? You can go into RI training and go through each one of those phases as you're continuing to go along with us. Right, so you can go back to the 20 and you can get right through those, and you could do those each day, or you could do multiples each day. So just to let you know, you're not lost, you haven't missed it. You can go back into that.
A couple questions too, Nikema. When do you know when to move on to the next step?
Okay, so we're going to answer all of those questions. Those are great questions, and it's coming up. So let's take a look here. Improve yourself phase, time focus. Now, 95% of your time needs to be spent in the personal improvement section, right? Reading, listening to CDs, attending workshops and conference calls. 95% of your time there, and 5% of your time in recruiting activities. Now, while you are in the improve yourself phase, you should take someone who has at least 30 PEPs with you as a support partner, because you don't have the skill yet to do the business. And while you're out with that person, you will see how to do a presentation. You will see how to follow up, because you're working with someone. It's like working at McDonald's. It doesn't matter which job you go into. You don't go into that job without training for the job. Even if you've gone to school and you are a doctor, you still got to intern for how many years before you even start to work on a patient on your own. Is that so, Ginny and Wade, right?
Yes, and we're getting a couple of requests to just speak slower, and I'm giving people some saying that this is being recorded and you can go back as often as you like, okay? Yeah. And someone wants to know what PEPs are.
Okay, so PEPs are personal effectiveness profile. So when you take the assessment, that assessment is, and I'm going to show it to you in a few. The assessment is how you answer some questions, and when you answer those questions will kick out an assessment that shows you where your strengths and your weaknesses are. So when we talk about PEPs, when you get that assessment and you answer those questions, it's going to give you a number, and that number is going to tell you your overall effectiveness in doing your business. So if your effectiveness is low, the numbers could be anywhere from 7 to 29. 30 and above, you're moving into the next phase. All right. So that's where I hope that answers that question for the person. It's an assessment that you take that shows what your strengths and your weaknesses are.
And you go to bizrunner.com/profile to take your first test for free. Okay. So bizrunner.com/profile to do your first assessment. And then from there you can join RI training. Nikema has arranged it for us. So if you go to RI training, and they're going to send you a link, right? RItraining.com, and then to join in the promotional box, you put Grow My Team, all lowercase, all one word, Grow My Team, and you can get it for half price, which is only $10 a month. Just under $10 a month, actually.
$9.98 to be
That's
exact.
right. That's right.
I'll play a different color than yellow.
And I'll put it up on the screen for you guys, and for those of you who are brand spanking new to what we're doing here right now. All right. So we're going to move on here. So tracking your in the improve yourself phase. To work out your time, ask yourself how many hours you would like to commit to building your business per week. Ask yourself that question. It starts with that question.
This is for Richard Woods. He just asked this question.
That's
You just
right.
asked this question. So you start with this, Richard, okay? You start with asking you, if you're doing a job already, and I'm slowing myself down here because this is my red sports car part of me is like zoom, okay? So when you start your business, you might have a job. If you have a job and you are doing network marketing as a way to increase your income, you would want to ask yourself how much time you are willing to commit to building your business per week. All right, that's the first question. So to work this out, how many hours in a week? Okay, how many work hours in a week? What is that, Ginny and Wade? That's usually what? 40 full-time, right? If you're working a job, it's a 40 full-time hour week. So that's what we're looking at, 40 hours. So how do we work it out? So if they're saying 95% of your time is in the improve yourself phase, what would that look like if you don't have a job and you are doing Enagic full-time? So from these numbers, you can break it down and do your 6 hours or whatever amount of hours that you would like to do. All right, so 95% of your time in the improving yourself phase.
38 hours.
Let's do the math.
Right.
Very simple math.
Wow.
So 95% of your time, to work it out, you would take 95% and divide it by 100.
Mm-hmm.
It'll give you a decimal of 0.95.
So here's a question from Richard. I block out 8 hours a day to meet 2 people. I don't always meet that goal. Does this count as blocking out time to 8 hours to meet 2 people?
Well, if you block out the time and you're not, remember, this is an improve yourself phase. You have other activities, Richard, that you have to be engaging in. Don't forget those activities we talked about earlier, right? So you're like 2 people, yes, you have to block out time. If you have to contact 2 people, which is what you're going to be doing because you're spending 5% of your time doing recruiting, following up, or whatever that is, it's important that you, let me not lose my train of thought here. It's important that you spend the time doing it. If you don't do it, then it doesn't really count because you haven't done it. You haven't used the time effectively.
I guess the question is, not the question, but a thing to consider for all of us is then what are we doing with that time? Is it that somebody canceled the appointment but had an appointment? So it's just, the first thing is being conscious of our time. So when we took this coaching class with Clay, we were putting colors. I was doing colors for different blocks in the week. And I just thought, oh my gosh, so many times I leave open space because I know calls are coming in and all that. But then if no calls came in, then what did you really do in that time? It doesn't count. It doesn't count. And
well, it counts.
Slap yourself in the face and move on.
But then you can use that time, right, Jenny? So let's say you had let's say you had some time blocked to call the person, and like Jenny, they said that the person canceled. But then you still have a list of things that you could be engaging in. You can go and listen to your RI training areas where that you're weakest, or you could be working on your scripts, or you could be working on your list. So there's no unused time. So if there's something that was scheduled that did not go through for you, then now is an opportunity to plug into that space one of the things that's in your list that needs to be done. So I hope that answers the question for you, right? So
tie back into his question. If he's blocking out 8 hours a day to meet 2 people, Richard, take 7.5 hours, work in the improve yourself side, and take 30 minutes to go meet someone. Because I'll tell you what, if you spend 7.5 hours a day in the improving yourself, you will go out and in 8 hours you'll meet 15 people.
Definitely. Good. That's great, Wade.
If you get through your improve yourself phase, you will, just as Nikema presented this morning on the call, she just happened to overhear someone, a couple of gals, and before you know it, 2 full contacts who were willing to work with her in a coaching situation. Now, whatever that coaching situation is up to you, but isn't that incredible right there? But because spending enough time and improve yourself, you can actually take those scripts that we're learning in the improve yourself side, and you can meet people like that.
Yeah, we can never underestimate the value of staying in this improving yourself phase. I mean, just some tips. Always have some audio books in your phone. Have a list. Have your list in front of you so that when you have 10 minutes, you can pick up the phone and call somebody. You're not thinking, who should I call? Where's my list? Everything right in front of you at your fingertips. And in this world of technology, everything is right here in our phones.
Yes, exactly. So now I'm going to continue here. So now you see that it multiply that by 40 hours. It's going to give you 38 hours per week. So if you're writing this down, I hope you wrote this down so that you can break it down. Now on the, so technically, if you're doing 95% of your time and you're doing the business full time, in the improve yourself phase, you should be spending about 7.6 hours per day in the improve yourself phase. All right. And then let's take a look at the 5% of time recruiting. That 5%, and we'll learn more about what that is. 5% divided by 100 will give you a decimal of 0.05 for those blue people. Multiply that by 40 hours. So you're going to be doing 2 hours per week recruiting. So you need to have a couple scripts ready that you are reaching out to at least 2 people a day and using the scripts on them, because you're practicing to get better, because your pool of people, and when you're practicing, you want to practice on your hot, the people that you already know, who's going to allow you to make mistakes, all right, and that you would be able to go back and fix it. But if you try to do that with your warm and your chicken list, you will go through your list really quickly and you will lose credibility there. So you want to practice with your hot people, because they'll forgive you. They love you, right? You got those cookie people in your life. If you make a mistake, they let you get away with it. So, practice with your cookie people. All right. So that's your 5%. Any questions there, Ginny, before I move on?
We're good. Where can we get the scripts?
So I'm the script book, and for those, everybody here should be on the Difference Makers group. If you're not on the Difference Makers group, like my page, Leadership Biz Solutions, on Facebook. And if you like me there, then I would post all the books and everything there so that you guys can take a look at it. Or it will also be posted on the website. You can see what the books look like and all of that. All right? It's all by Clay Stevens. All right, so here you have it, or 24 minutes per day recruiting. 24 minutes per day.
Right.
If you are reaching out and contacting people, you're basically building up your muscles. So it's like, I work out every morning, right? I do Billy Blanks in front of my television, right? And when I first started, oh my God, I cried because I was so weak. My body was just falling apart. And I felt if anybody could see, it looked so ridiculous. But guess what? It's been over a month now, and now I'm like in the groove. My body is stronger. Every single day you get stronger. Every time you practice, every time you do that action, you get better. So that 2 hours per week that you're using on recruiting and working with your upline, you'll be able to still move towards getting some people into your organization while you are in the improve yourself phase. So the activities, remember I said earlier on the call before we got over here, I'm just going to go over here to remind you, keep track of positive motivational educational books at least 30 minutes per day. Listen to 1 CD every day in an area of that you're deficient. Own and play the residual income gain. Gain and be able to share your knowledge and testimony of the products. You don't even have to worry about writing this all down, because this is available to you in RI training. All right. If you feel comfortable taking a picture, go ahead. Attend upline and mentor promoted events. Memorize and practice contacting scripts. And this is for Richard, right? Richard, these are the things that we're doing. These are the activities that you're working in. Learn the business presentation. Learn and edify your upline mentor and support partner. Develop a names list and segment it into hot, warm, and chicken categories, and learn how to contact, present, follow up, and enroll new associates. Ginny, Wade, anything before I move on?
Move on, girl.
All right, and track your business expenses in the meantime, and track your business revenues, how much money you're making, and so forth. And give yourself time to learn, because you get frustrated if you don't give yourself time to learn. So checklist items are important to be done before moving to the next phase. If you don't do all of these 11 things on this list, you can't build a team. It's like putting the donkey before the cart. It's just not going to happen. And if you didn't manage to get some people to join you, it'll fall apart eventually. All right?
Sammy would like you to go back one slide so she could take a picture real quick.
One more slide, or is this a slide, or one more slide?
Maybe you should go back to the number one, like 2 slides ago, and just hold that up real quick.
Okay, so I'm going to leave this there for Sammy.
Remember, guys, this is recorded, so you will be able to watch this and take as many pictures as you like at your own pace. Okay, she's good.
All right. Thank you, Sammy. All right, so let me just scroll through these again very quickly. All right. Now, the improve yourself goals. And this is, again, listed in the back of our training, and I will show it to you. 1, enroll 1 to 5 customers or associates. That's the goal in your improve yourself phase. And that 5% of recruiting time that you have available, you're going to be working with your upline. So you should be able to get at least 5 sales, and that 5 sales could be customers or associates, okay? Receive your product for free, which means that you've sold enough to at least get your money back for your ionizer. So in this case, it says enroll 1 to 5, but in Enagic, it's 9. Yeah. Right? When we enroll or sell 9 products, we get our machine for free, because that's the point where we break even. Okay?
Oh, and if you enroll in associates, you can be less because they're going to be out doing work too.
Exactly. Right. So that doubles it up. If you're working alone, if those people that you brought in start selling, then it's less time or less amount of people for you to. It's still going to take 9 overall sales, whether you do it or somebody else does it. It's still 9 overall sales in our company. Okay, so we could change this number to enroll 1 to 9, because that's how we get our product for free.
Right.
Okay. The goal is to also increase your PEPs to 30 plus. Don't worry. I'm also going to do a video on how to get started doing your profile. Now I'm all videoed up. It took me a whole year to learn how to do videos, and it's a whole year, 12 months to learn how to do videos, and now I can do them. So I can put it out there. 4, you're looking to get green or yellow in the first 20 skills. So if you're already have your profile, your goal is to make sure that it's all green or green and yellow, or all yellow in the improve yourself phase. So once you get these things, these are the goals that you're going after, plus the checklist that we went over before, and that's going to help you get there.
Great.
All right, improve yourself promotion checklist. So you have to take, this is going to help you with your promotion. You got to take the personal effectiveness profile again, because you're looking to see if you're ready to go into the build a team phase. You need to be on the difference makers call. You need to be at all the different events. Create a personal improvement plan. Make sure you've had that, and you have your goals and your milestones. Once you've done that, subscribe. You're on RI training. These are the checklists to make sure that you're ready to promote. You have these things already done and in place. Create a business plan with your realistic, clear goals and milestones. Create a list of 200 names. Be on the company auto ship if applicable. So if you're ready to go on Ukon for us, you go on Ukon. have tickets to the next company or industry event that we're having. All right, so these are the things that's preparing you to go to the build a team phase. Any questions? Everyone's good?
Sounds good.
All right, let me go on. Planning and tracking in the build a team phase. I didn't go over this in the call because I needed to really show this on the screen. So to get into this phase, you have to master the first 20 skills by increasing your PEPs to at least 30. Puts you in the top 3% of all direct sellers. If you are able to improve yourself, going through the things that we just shared with you a moment ago, then it puts you in the top 3% of all direct sellers, as Ginny had said earlier, right?
And as Clay says, winner, winner, chicken dinner.
I know, we love that.
And you need to celebrate.
And you need to celebrate. That was my lesson last week. Learn to celebrate, because I'm a workaholic, okay, guys? So don't mind me. But I had to remember to take a break. So every time you check off something on that list, have somewhere to reward yourself. That's a big part of what we do. All right? Okay, build a team time focus. So if you are in the build a team phase, 15% of your time is on personal improvement, which means you're reading, listening, attending workshops and conference calls. That never stops, guys. No matter where we are in our business, we still need to be working on ourselves. It's just part of the business. It's
Right.
part of life. You are always learning and growing. All right? 50% of your time in recruiting activities, contacting, presenting, and following up. 30% of your time in training new people who enroll in your organization, either as a customer or associate. You still got to train those people. And 5% of your time on retention activities. And he says, don't even worry about the retention activities as much here in this phase. He's saying that we'll touch on that, but those numbers that came before is where we really need to be spending our time. Could you check in with everyone for me, Jenny, and ask them?
Oh, they're good.
They're
Everybody's
all good? Everyone's saying this is good?
Oh, they're great.
Okay,
We're
great.
having a good time over here.
All right.
We're answering most of these as they go along, and
Yep.
so we're answering most of these as they go along.
Okay, great. Thank you, Jenny.
And
All right.
go wait.
So build a team 20 skills that we're working on. We've gone over these already, right? You guys have seen these,
This
right?
is all on
Today
your list in
today
RI
we're
training.
number 9, tracking.
Yeah, you don't have to write this down. This is all in RI training.
It's all in RI training. So this is what we've already. Next week, Jenny's going to be going over record keeping. Good luck.
Yes.
Who likes to keep records? Nobody. All right. So
We always say, teach what you need to learn. So here,
exactly. And listen, guys, I want you all to know on this call right here, right now, that I am a trainer by profession. This is what I love to do. I have challenges just like you doing these things here, but I'm committed to doing it. I'm committing to learning it and putting it into action. So the more I teach you is the more I learn. Okay, so please don't think Nikema is any guru or anything. Guys, I am just as wonky as some of you out there. Okay?
you're
All right.
still a guru.
So the next thing, persuasion, selling aptitude, follow-up, all of these things that we're going to learn in the build a team phase. These are the 20 skills that we're working towards. So I'm going to go forward because I don't need to spend time here. Now we begin to seriously do some tracking. BizRunner.com. Now, BizRunner, I want to say, when you purchase RI training, BizRunner comes with it. So please don't go running out right now and getting on your computer and going to BizRunner.com and signing up. Don't do it. Wait for the next video. Don't do it, because you're going to spend $20 to do that. Okay? When you sign up for RI training, you get BizRunner as part of it. So I just wanted to say that before I move forward. All right? So this is you're going to be tracking your daily on BizRunner. Build a team promotion checklist. Are you taking the personal effectiveness profile quarterly? So if you are in the build a team phase, quarterly is when you should be doing your profile. Every 3 months. Are you green and yellow in the first 40 skills in the personal effectiveness profile? All right. I'm sorry, that meant 20 skills. I'm sorry, 20 skills, not 40. 20. Sorry, guys, was typing too fast. Okay. All right. Are you having 2 or more residual income gameplay per month? Excuse the mistake. I've been working on this for hours. All right. So you need to be playing the game at least twice a month with your upline or with somebody in your family so that you can learn more. Are at least 75% of your team members or associates, I forgot that word, registered for the educational system you offer? So whether you're using RI training, which I recommend, if you got something else, like how the Success Center has this, there's this Health Success Center, which is all specifically in Enagic, are you enrolled in that? Because Rick and Carl is the bomb diggity, okay? They got everything. So we need to all be over there as well, because that's all Enagic specific. All right, build a team checklist. Do you have at least 15 to 25 associates? That's how you are, you know, you're in the build a team phase, getting ready to move into the leadership role, okay? At least 3 to 5 committed to leadership, and this is a big deal. We seem to think that if we sold 100 machines, then we got 100 people on our team. No, we don't. Okay, you may have a lot of people sign up to be distributors, but only a certain amount of them are committed to leadership, which means the ones that are saying, you know what, we're willing to go through what we're going through here right now. All right. Are you qualifying to take the stage at each event with stage recognition, where stage recognition is available? This was another one that was like, it means that if you have a team, guys, every time we have an event and they're giving out checks or recognition in some way, as a leader, we should be crossing the stage. Mm-hmm. Because our team is watching. Just saying. Okay.
So I'll just present an event to be a weight holder.
Say that again, Wade.
Create my own. So.
No, I mean, what?
You're on stage every month at least.
That's right.
Every day at your water store.
That's right.
But the thing about it is, guys, that's the corporate side, right? Where you're crossing the stage for the check. But on your side of the business, when you're creating your team and you're building that, if you have an event, you can create recognitions for members of your team to cross the stage. So it doesn't have to be at a corporate event. A corporate event is when your team is there, they get to see you cross the stage. Great. You need to be crossing at the corporate event where your team can see you. But in the build a team phase, when you're working with your team, you should have some way to recognize when people make a certain amount of sales, or if they've improved themselves and moved from the improve yourself, which is what Kimberly did when I went to Buffalo. She gave medals to people who moved from the improve yourself phase to the build a team phase.
Excellent.
Right? So those are the things that you can do recognition on your end for your business. All right? Are you making at least $2,500 in residual income each month? That's a person who is in the build a team phase. And if you're not really making that consistently every month, something is wrong with the steps preceding it. All right? So let's take a look here. I'm sorry, I was supposed to put these on work one at a time, but I'll just use my mouse here. So 15% of your time on personal improvement in the build a team phase. What does that look like? All right, we're still working with the same 40 hours if you're doing full time in the business. Right. So 15 divided by 100 will give you a decimal of 0.15. Multiply that by 40 hours. So you're going to be spending 6 hours per week on personal improvement in the build a team phase. All right. Now, in the recruiting section here, 50% on recruiting, you take your 50%, you divide it by 100. I'm sorry, guys, that's supposed to be a divide sign there. Okay, I'm sorry, let me just get my little pencil thingy here. I'll just use the spotlight. I think the spotlight would work better. Yeah, good. You see this better? Okay. So on this 50, this is supposed to be a divide here. So if you're taking notes, it's right.
I mean equal.
It's supposed to be equal. I'm sorry, not divide. Thank you. Equal.
Okay.
So 50, thank you, Wei. 50% divided by 100 equals, this is supposed to be equal 0.5 multiplied by 40 hours equals 20 hours on recruiting per week.
So that's 4 hours on any work day. Like if you only work the business Monday to Friday, that's 4 hours a day.
4 hours a day. Exactly.
2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the night.
Right.
Oh, good. So another thing I want to point out here, for those of you who are wanting to know what this 100 is about, because I have to do a little check to see. This 100 just is out of a whole, and you're just basically saying, okay, out of 100, which helps to turn it into a decimal. It turns a percentage into a decimal, and that way you can multiply it by the hours. So I just wanted to be able to say that for those who are wondering why the 100 is there, okay? 30% on training new people. So those frontline people who are coming into your organization, you need to spend time with them when you are in the build a team phase. So 30% divided by 100 equals the decimal 0.3 multiplied by 40 hours per week will give you 12 hours on training new people in your organization when you are in the build a team phase. On retention, you're spending 2 hours on retention. And retention are those things like answering questions, and we'll see, I'll show you where those explanations are, so that way you'll be able to find them when you're ready to use them. What time is it now, Ginny?
10:43.
Oh boy, we got to move on here.
On the East Coast.
Okay, so let me run through here because I got to get to the other piece. So at the end of each week, calculate how many contacts you made. If you are committed to 10 or more hours, contact at least 10 new people per week. That's what Clay is saying that you need to do. All right. The result of tracking the number of contacts to appointments is the conversion rate of contacts to appointments or presentations. So when we're looking to convert, and I'm going to go over this. Don't get overwhelmed. I'm going to say it again. The result of tracking the number of contacts to appointments, which means when you do a contact and that person agrees to give you an opportunity for an appointment, right? That is the conversion rate. That's what we're looking for. How often out of those 10 people you're contacting, how many of those people are saying yes to an appointment? Mm-hmm. That's conversion, okay?
So are you going to give an example? Oh, perfect. Here you go. Got it.
Okay. So here is your conversion ratio calculations. This is what is supposed to really be in our industry if we really did what we're supposed to do. If you are contacting the amount that you're doing, if you did 100 contacts, the calculation is 60 divided by 100 gives you 60%. So if you got like 60 of those people to agree to a presentation, right, you're at 60% conversion. All right. So now this is how you work it out. 60. So presentation 60, you're at 60%. Now follow up. How many people of those after you did the presentation allows you to follow up? Clay is saying that needs to be a 60% in follow up as well. I'm sorry, there's 90% here. It's supposed to really be 60%.
Okay.
All right. So it's 60%. So please, I'll fix the PowerPoint. Gosh. All right. So it's 60% follow up. So we want to make sure that we're getting, and what he's saying is if you're getting less than 36, then something is wrong. You got to go back and look to see what's actually happening with your presentation. Because if after you do the presentation, the person won't answer the phone, right? You can't seem to get the person to even engage with you further because they saw the presentation, then there was something in the presentation that's not correct.
Right.
You need to go back and examine what you're doing in your presentation. If you're contacting people and you're not getting them to agree to a presentation, then something is wrong with the contacting.
Mm-hmm.
This is how we know.
Right.
This is more concrete information than if we're just saying, oh, I tried calling, nobody's answering the phone. Nobody's buying. This is more concrete than that type of a reaction.
It's your fault, not theirs. That's right.
Say that again, Wade?
It's your fault, not theirs. Something's going wrong in what you're doing. If you're not able to pull 60%, and that's what Clay said, if you're not able to pull 60%, then there's something going on wrong in your contacting or your presentation or your follow-up, guys. And so you need to look at those numbers. If you can look at those numbers, you know where to work, and that's what tracking is all about.
And it all goes back to personal improvement.
Right.
Don't you guys love Wade's voice? I love Wade's voice. I do like debonair. I love it. So back to enrollments now. So it's the same thing with enrollments here. With enrollments, you're looking at, if you're doing 127 people are enrolling, right? That's a 90% conversion rate there. And that's only going to come about with the skill level that you have, based on how well you've improved yourself and how well you've committed yourself to learning the 20 skills in the Build a Team phase. Okay? So the overall conversion ratio that Clay is saying is you're looking at contacts converted to enrollments, 27%. And technically what he is saying is that is actually on the low end. It should be 36%. If it's lower than that, then it's not a good thing. All right. So do we have any questions? Everyone's good?
We're good.
Here it is. If the conversion is less than 60%, something is wrong with your contacting scripts, go back, right? I'm sorry. So I said before, let me go back here. Let me make sure my internet does not interrupt us, guys, because my internet can be pretty wonky. Okay, good. I'm good to go. All right. So I'm sorry, 60% conversion. All right. So if the conversion is less than 60%, something is wrong in your contacting phase. If it's not 60% and it's less, you need to keep going back to see what's going on, because that means if you're contacting 10 people and you're not getting an appointment with them, then something is wrong with what you are saying to them. You got to go back to the scripts. So again, this is it here, 60% contacts to appointments or presentations, 60% presentations to follow-up, and 90% follow-up to customer or distributor. So this is what we're going after right here. Okay? This is what we're going after. So the overall score performance, this was a great list that you can all start with today. Okay? You're going to start by writing this down, your names list, contacts, presentations, follow-ups, enrollments, morning review, celebrate, weekly review, and support partner call. So this here is what we are tracking with Clay right now. All right. So Ginny, do you want to go over this? Do you know this really well or no?
Did you say Ginny or Wade?
Ginny.
Oh, well, this is like, if you look at your goal, you have 200 people on your names list and you actually contacted 200, then you achieved 100% of your goal. So what we're doing on this chart is we're just going from left to right. You have 10 contacts as your goal. You actually contacted 10, you get 100%. And, you know, we'll go slip down to even like enrollments. If your goal is to enroll 3 people and you actually enrolled 1, okay, that's a third. It's 33 1/3%. That's what it is. And celebrate, if your goal is to celebrate after you achieve all this and you actually celebrated just one time, you get 100% achieved. If you celebrate twice, you get 200%. But this is what it is, and this is how you can really keep a good track of what is really happening. I think this is my favorite slide so far, because this is what it's all about right here.
Yes. All right, so to find out your result, just to remind you, your percentage, divide your result by your commitment, which is what Richard was asking us at first. What is your result that you actually get? Multiply by your commitment, which is the time that you've committed to doing this business. Multiply that by 100, it'll convert it to a decimal or percent. So I just wanted to go over that. So before we go, I just want to quickly jump on over to RI training. All right, just give me a minute here, guys. New share. I think this would help me here. Yeah. Look. Okay, good. There I am. You guys seeing it?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. So,
your mic.
Are you hearing me now? Ginny, yeah, you're muted.
Oh, I went on mute. The lawn is getting mowed.
No problem.
All times, right? Okay.
Okay, so we have a few minutes here. All right, guys. Everything for the persons who are new, this is ritraining.com. All right, ritraining.com. We don't have a lot of time left, but I will post on Leadership Business Solutions or Leadership Biz. Just go to Nikema French. You'll find Leadership Biz on Facebook. Just like and follow. I'm going to post a video there, and I'll also post it in the Difference Makers on how to get signed up and started with RI training. So that will kind of, for those of you who are worried about that, that will get answered for you on Facebook as well as in the Difference Makers group. For those of you who are in the mini demo kit, the Demo Like a Professional group, I'll post it there as well so that you can see it, how to get started. So this is RI training. There's a skills library, and in the skills library, this is what your PE profile would look like. I'm sorry, they make me, just give me a second. I have to, log back in again. All right, and there you go. I'm back in. So this is your skills here. So this is your PE profile. When you do your assessment, this is what your PE profile will look like.
Man,
okay.
Look at that profile.
All right, so you're gonna have yellow, greens, and reds on your profile. Red means you need work. Yellow means adequate. Green means proficient. And as you can see here, for me, use of people was red because I have not taken this profile over again. This was the first profile that I'm using just for, to demo eNagic to you guys, okay? So this is my profile, and this is what you're gonna work on your profile here. So when you do your assessment, this is what it's going to look like. But where we spent our time today is in the Build tab. On the top here where it says Build, that's where I want you to go in your RI training. So write Build tab, nice and big on your sheet of paper, okay? And this is your Build dashboard. And this is where, for those yellow people or red people who want to get it done super, 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 super fast, this is where you come, because you ain't got time with all them conversion numbers now, do you? All right, so let's do it here very quickly. You go to here, you see it says, these bars up here, these orange bars are going to change as you do the work. So here we go. This week, past week, goals. Let's click on goals. Let's set some goals for ourselves for this week. Okay, so this week I want to contact 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There you go. Then I want to do for my 10, I want to get at least, like Clay says, I should get how much, Ginny?
6.
At least 6. So let's see if I can go for my 6. And I should get how many follow-ups from my 6? Ginny, you're muted, Jen. There you go.
You should get at least 3 or 4.
You should get at least 3 or 4. So let's try to go for 4. And enrollments, how many enrollments do we want?
4.
All 4.
We want all 4. That should be at least 90%, right? So we should be getting at least 3, right? 3 or 4, getting 90%. But we would like to have 4. Our lives would be so amazing if that happened, right? So here, this is for the personal improvement section of your business. Remember that here, if you're in these little, let me slow down there. These little question marks on the side here, when you hover your mouse over it, okay, you will see, let me make sure hold on, let me just change my, boom, 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 spotlight. Good, right here. This little question mark box here, when you hover on it, it tells you what personal improvement things you should be doing. So if you are in the improve yourself phase, how many hours is that we're supposed to be spending here?
38.
38 hours. Mm-hmm. If you're full-time in the business.
Yeah.
I'm just going to type in 38. Wade is so good with holding these numbers in his head. That's awesome. That's why I work with Ginny and Wade, guys. Okay? All right. And recruiting, how many hours, how much time are we supposed to spend on recruiting?
I forgot what the percentage was now.
5%.
Okay.
On recruiting and the improve yourself, that's 2 hours, right?
Right.
2 hours. Guys, when I learned this, I was like, what? Now I know how to use this. I wasn't sure how to use the tracker before I was using it, but now I know how to use the tracker.
Right.
Okay? All right. Training your team. If you are in Improve Yourself, are you training anybody?
No.
No. But you got to make sure your upline, you're getting your people in front of your upline. So which means you're training along with them too, with your upline. So how many hours was that? It's part of your 38 hours.
Right.
Okay, retaining, we're not doing any of that. Very little administration. If you want to keep, let's say you did about 2 hours of administration for the week, making sure that you are organized. All right, and now once we've done that, guys, I'm going to click submit. When I click on submit, now my goals are set for the week. I go to work. All right, so those are my goals. This week is what I go back to this week over here. So this is goals. Now we go to this week here. Click on this week. Now we're back to our tracker. So today is Monday. How many people did you actually contact today? So if you did 2, you put your 2 in. If you did 1 presentation, let's say you followed up with 1 person, you spent how many hours in your personal improvement? You had a good day today. You did all 38 hours in personal improvement because you are full-time, you don't have a job. This is what you're doing.
This is just today though, so that's too many.
That's too many, sorry.
You get more hours than a day.
How many hours? 7.6 hours. 7.6 hours for the day is
right.
7.6. Thank you. See, I need you guys to keep me straight. All right? So then we have recruiting. No recruiting. You didn't do well. You're supposed to do 24 minutes. So that's what, 0.24?
Right.
Right? 0.24, 24 minutes. And then training your team. You're not really doing much of that. Retaining, none of that. And about, let's say, an hour in administration. And let's submit that. So this is what, let's say at the end of today, this is what your numbers look like.
Recruiting should be 0.4.
It should be point how much?
0.4.
Go back here.
That's okay. I mean.
No, that's good.
0.4.
0.4. Thank you. Recruiting 0.4.
Right.
0.4. Great. Thank you, Wade.
Yes.
There you go. Guys, like I said, I love my calculator. I'm not the girl who's going to be doing anything out of her head, okay? All right, so now that we have our goals are all set here for Monday, this is what we put in for Monday, this is what we did for Monday. All right, notice that not much movement has happened here, okay? And by the way, before I go back, over here it says change. Do you see where it says change?
Mhm.
Let me click on that.
Lots of questions flying.
Okay. Tracking you want to start when you tracking your weekly, what day you're going to start in the week? Sunday to Monday, so you can decide what day of the week you're starting to do your business. All right? Thursday through Wednesday, Tuesday through Wednesday, Friday through Thursday, whatever it is, you can select it so that your chart is correct. I'm going to answer some questions now. Go ahead, Ginny.
Oh, I'm answering some. Okay. Someone said, wait, let me just hit send. Okay. I answered one. Somebody just wrote, coming up. When you use BizRunner, does it put the numbers in automatically as far as tracking, or do we have to transfer the numbers?
That's a great question. Yes, you need to come in here and put the numbers.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
So all questions answered.
Beautiful. Thank you. So you do need to come in here, and because you need to interact with this, because you need to be able to train someone else how to do this, right?
Yes.
So because remember, when the person now start, they may not be using BizRunner as much, but at least they're in the improve yourself phase. They need to really be working on that 36 hours for the week that they're doing on improving themselves.
Excellent.
If let's say Tuesday you did better, I want to just do this very quickly. 3. Let's say you did 4 contacts you did 2 presentations on Tuesday. You followed up. You're going up. We followed up with 2 people. All right. And then you go through your same hours here again. Let's just click on that. I'm not going to go through the hours, but you know what you need to do for here. It will be the same, 7.6 hours. And then I'm going to click on that. Do you see what's happening to the bar here?
Right.
Now you're getting your conversions. You don't have to do it personally with the numbers, okay? So this makes it easy for you. So once you plug it in, these bars start moving. So it says here you have a silver in contact, you have a bronze in presentation, you have a bronze in follow-up, and you have a bronze, and you have nothing in enrollments. Because even though you've enrolled 1 earlier, did we have any enrollments? No enrollments so far.
Right.
Okay, so this bar is going to move when you start putting this information in.
Right.
And if you scroll down, you answer these questions here, and all those checklist items that I was going over in the PowerPoint for you, here they are. So as you do them, you just check them off. All right?
Excellent.
It's really super simple. What's your time commitment? What's your financial commitment? Okay, you've read the book. How do you feel about it? Have you read? I'm still reading Ask, Listen, and Repeat. That is not a book you can just go through. It's just like, I got to digest that stuff. It's a lot, right, Ginny?
It's incredible. And now he's got a new book coming out soon. We'll talk about that on the call.
Yes. All right. So I think this is enough for today, guys.
And just a suggestion to everybody that's watching this. It's not about being overwhelmed. How do you eat an elephant, one bite at a time? Half of the battle is going in this and playing with it and looking at it. And even if you just print it out, say, and you just have a piece of paper in front of you all the time to remind you of the things to be focusing on, and to scroll over those little question marks at the side to see what each skill is involving. It's moving us all in the right direction. Like that. Look at that. Like, this is just so beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you, Nikema. You have put so much into this webinar. You've put so much into all of us on this call, into the whole global team of difference makers. And I just stand here like, wow, like majorly in awe of all that you do. I don't think you ever go to bed, but you look like you sleep about 20 hours a day. You're so gorgeous. Thank you so much. I know everybody on the line feels the same way.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. So, but again, the best way to thank me is I want to see you guys, I want to hear you guys having like massive success in your business. Yeah. I want to hear that you guys are training other people to do this. That makes the time that I spend up creating this, reading my books, and going over all the stuff that I go over and presenting to you. That is what's going to be, the result of that is going to be so worth it. You're actually getting the results. All right. So guys, any last questions before we wrap up and say thank you so very much for doing our webinar? Vinny?
Fantastic. You're just getting great compliments, and that's how it's going to end out. That's how it's going to roll. Oh, right. How do we get the recorded? That's what we
Okay, so the recording will be on, just type in, go to YouTube and go to Nikima French on YouTube, N-I-K-I, not Nakima, not N-A-N-I-K-I-M-A, French with an E at the end, F-R-E-N-C-H-E, and I actually created a folder there called the Difference Makers. And you guys, I will add this in there as well.
And then where do you get the scripts is the last question of the day.
To get your scripts, go to bizrunner.com. Let me pull it up on my screen here. Let me do the share here. Let me do a new share. Hold on. If you go to bizrunner, bizrunner.com/order. Oh, it's loading. Are you seeing my screen, Ginny?
In the question and answer. Yeah, video comment. Yes.
Hold on, it's loading. Hold on. So it's bizrunner.com/order. My computer is taking a second to load.
That's okay. They'll find it there.
They'll find it there. Oh.
Oh, well.
Hold on. I probably did it wrong.
Uh-oh, my iPad is going to die.
Okay, so we're gonna cut out now. So go to bizrunner.com/order. I'll go back and see what I'm doing wrong. Is it ritraining.com/order? RITRAINING training.com/order. Okay, so guys, I'm gonna have to. I'll let you. You can go there. You can find it on Kindle, Amazon. Just go to Clay Stevens Success Scripts on Amazon. You can order it there as well. And you could also, what am I doing? You can also order it right in your back office here. Right. There's a shop in your back office of RI Training. I forgot, guys. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Right.
It's right in the shop. If you go down to the shop, you see all the books here, 6 Figures in 6 Months. If you scroll down, Residual Ink, the game is here. And we get all of these things at discount. Contacting Pro. Okay, it says it's $59 for the discs, but the book is only $12.
Right.
You see that, guys?
Yep.
So right here, the book is $12. Success Scripts. And where did we find this? It's right in your RI Training back office. You just click on shop. Let me go back all the way to the top. This is a shop right up here in orange, okay? Shop. All right, guys, I hope you found value. I got so much to do. Those people who ordered demo kits, I am on my way to getting it mailed out to you today. All right, so have a great day, everyone. Thank you, Wade and Ginny. I cannot thank you guys enough. I cannot do this without you. It really takes a team effort for all of us to be able to do this. There are certain things that I am not strong at that Wade is extremely strong at. Wade is like the man when it comes to explaining things. And Ginny, she is so great with just being, like, she can explain things like butter.
Butter. Ooh.
Like butter, like really, like she's so smooth with it. And it's very clear. I love that about the two of you. So because of what you guys do, you guys make me look real good. So thank you.
Have a fabulous day, Nikki.
All right, guys, have a great day. Have a great day.
Thanks for joining in.
Ciao.
Okay.
Bye, Wade.
You're awesome. Thank you.
Ciao.